Well, after a weeks-long send-off, the late Queen is finally at rest. This photo released by the Palace of the Legestone in St George's Chapel, where Elizabeth II is buried with her husband and parents. It's amazing, isn't it? Well, joining us now with more royal editor at the Daily Mirror, Russell Myers. Rusty, I miss you so much. Miss sitting next to you. A huge chapter in British history, huh?
Oh, mate, I missed you too. So near, but you so far. We what an experience we went through together. It has been finally laid to rest. The Queen's final resting place has been revealed. People will be able to visit this incredible sort of chapel in St George's Chapel in Windsor from next week. She is lying with her father, King George VI, her mother, and Prince Philip as well. All of them in this tiny little corner of the chapel, along with the ashes of her sister. So it seems as though the chapter is closed, doesn't it?
A new book is opening up, a new chapter and a new book creating more headaches for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, including that Meghan thought she'd be the Beyonce of Britain. The book claims also former staffers are calling themselves Sussex survivors, and that when she was on a tour of Australia, she said, I can't believe I'm not getting paid to talk to these Aussies. I mean, any of this legit? Sounds it.
Well, there is bombshell after bombshell of this, and this is from one of my esteemed colleagues, Valentine Low at the Times, his new book, Courtiers, The Power Behind the Crown. And there really are some jaw-dropping moments in this. You just mentioned that bit about Meghan complaining, allegedly, that she wasn't getting paid for doing walkabouts. I mean, it gets even worse that she told people she believes she was going to be the Beyonce of the UK, and that that she necessarily wasn't happy within the royal family. I mean, we know that now, but I think this new book is full of bombshells and heaping further pain onto her reputation, unfortunately for her.
As Beyonce once famously said, "You got me looking so crazy right now."
Oh dear, look. I miss you, mate.
Plenty wouldn't. Rusty, great to see you, mate. We'll be watching and learning more about Meghan and the tour.
Some royal news now. Prince Harry is reportedly scrambling to make changes to his tell-all memoir in light of the Queen's death.
Joining us now is 9 Honey royal reporter Natalie Oliveira. Nat, looks like he's having a slight change of heart about some of the tone that we're thinking might be in this book.
Absolutely. Look, it's not good timing at all for Prince Harry. This book, we're expecting it to come out in the next couple of months. No official release date has still been given for this memoir, but we're expecting it to come out by November because the huge Thanksgiving market in America, so that's when publishers want it to be out. But look, Harry, it appears, has had a bit of a change of heart. He's wanting to make changes because he's worried that he's going to be vilified by these revelations in this book. The timing is not great. His grandmother has just passed away. His father, the king, is just weeks into his new reign. But of course, publishers, they've already signed off on this manuscript and of course want it to be as juicy as possible. They've paid him a reported $60 million for 3 books. So of course they want it to have
it's a trilogy.
Many...
That's more fun,
yeah,
isn't it,
absolutely. And I guess one of the things that they've actually said to him is that we want you to add to it because they want to include details about how Harry reacted in the immediate aftermath of the Queen's death, and also that walkabout with William and Kate and Meghan. They want to know details about that. So I'm expecting there to be a number of changes to this book, not a complete rewrite of sorts, but certainly it can't go ahead as it stands at the moment, considering everything that's happened just in the past 2 weeks.
Change the preface. You know.
I know. Gee,
it's going to be juicy, but it's not going to look good for him.
Backed into a very uncomfortable corner on that, isn't he?
It really is.
Meantime, another book, one written by royal reporter Valentine Low, it's creating more headaches for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex with these very, severe headlines. So apparently Meghan's aides labelled her a narcissistic sociopath. Wow. Tell us more.
Yeah, this is just one of the claims in the book, and a number of staff apparently called themselves the Sussex Survivors Club because of how they were allegedly treated by the Duchess of Sussex. Now, one of the claims in this book is that Meghan, her departure from the royal family was really premeditated and that she wanted herself, I guess, to be rejected from the royal family apparently because she was very much obsessed with being the victim and focused on that narrative, which is quite interesting. Now, another claim is that Meghan, when she was on tour for that Australian tour in 2018, she was incredibly surprised at how her and Harry had to do these long walkabouts with the public, but they weren't paid for any of it. And one of the other things...
Get paid for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just something the royals have been doing since the 1970s. The Queen actually started it here in Australia. Look, another claim in this book, Courtiers is the name of it, is that Meghan had a huge blow-up with her staffer, Samantha Cohen. Now, she's an Australian staffer. She's now not with the royal household, Harry and Meghan, but apparently they had a huge fight just before the Sussexes boarded their flight from Tonga to Sydney. And apparently that Australian tour was incredibly unhappy behind the scenes. And one other thing that I find quite interesting from this book is that Meghan clashed with another staffer because of all the freebies that were being sent to Kensington Palace. Meghan wanted to accept these free clothes and jewellery, but that's very much against royal protocol and obviously a cause for concern there.
Well, and that's all out of just one little excerpt from that book, so the whole book is yet to come.
Yes.
Meantime, we have the first trailer for season 5 of the Netflix series The Crown. Oh, let's have a look at that, shall we?
Let's do.
Buckingham Palace is issuing this statement. It is with regret the Prince and Princess of Wales separate.
There's uproar in Britain
after Prince Charles bared his soul to the nation. But the Princess of Wales upstaged her husband,
speaking about her broken marriage, her life and her future.
This is becoming...
Is King Charles, or the Prince of Wales at the time, and also Princess Diana preparing for those incredible tell-all interviews. Charles's interview with Jonathan Dimbley, where he admitted to having an affair with Camilla, and also Diana's interview with Martin Bashir. So it's really setting up this season as being one that focuses on the War of the Waleses and is going to be hugely damaging, potentially, to the new King Charles. He's getting so much popularity at the moment, but this season 5...
Also, the season, I think, is going to end on the crash.
Yes, the death of the Princess of Wales is going to be in the next season, not this one.
The Palace is already at pains to remind people this isn't a documentary.
That's right,
well.
it is.
Well, a big question looming this morning. Will there be a global recession and what will it mean for us?
So depressing.
It is.
Let's bring in economics editor at the Australian Financial Review, John Kehoe. Johnny, good morning to you. What a debacle that AFL Grand Final was. But anyway, we'll move on to more exciting things. Like your front page today, I was depressed when I woke up. I'm more depressed now. There's so much negative. The present market has many of the same traits that led to the 1987 stock market crash. The only thing lacking is currency crisis. We don't know what's going to go on, but the markets are off. I mean, this is all just so bleak. Is it failure? Is it outright calamity? I mean, it's supposed to be uplifting, the Fin Review.
Yeah, morning, guys. Look, warning signs are really flashing around the world about a potential global recession. In the US, the Federal Reserve Chairman there has said he's going to prioritise slashing inflation, even if it costs people's jobs and economic growth. The US could tip into recession. The UK, well, their new Prime Minister Liz Truss has unveiled a big tax cut package, but that's been received pretty badly by the markets. The pound there's tumbling. And then in Europe, it's a bit of a disaster there too, with those sky-high energy prices from the Ukraine war, and even China, which Australia relies on so heavily for growth over the last couple of decades. The property market there is in trouble, and their COVID-0 policies continue to wreak havoc on their economy as well. So outside of Australia, it's a pretty gloomy outlook at the moment.
So is it going to remain outside of Australia though, John, or will a global recession impact us as well, surely?
Yeah, undoubtedly it will flow on to Australia over the next 6 or 12 months, Sarah. We buy and sell goods with the rest of the world, and we're also contending with some of the same conditions that the rest of the world is too, that high inflation and rising interest rates. Not quite as bad here in Australia, but it will start to knock on. Barrenjoey, one of the local investment banks, on Friday tipped that Australia would have a short, sharp recession next year. Some other economists say that won't happen in Australia. We can tread that narrow path to avoid it. But it does seem likely that spending's going to slow here as those interest rates bite, and maybe next year you might see that very low unemployment rate tick up from the current very low 3.5%.
We've got some massive pressure on this budget to come. I'm not sure whether the federal government's going to make the decisions that it needs to, and they're tough ones.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a difficult balancing act for Treasurer Jim Chalmers in his first budget, Carl. I think one of the things the government's got to be conscious of is not adding to these inflationary pressures in the economy we're seeing at the moment. Now, I know there's a lot of demands on them to spend more money on all sorts of worthy causes, but they've got to be really careful that they're not adding to the spending in the economy that's going to force the Reserve Bank to jack up interest rates even higher to quell inflation. So, yeah, it'll be good to watch the budget. October 25, it's only a few weeks now, and it'll be a big one for this new government.
Excellent, mate. The only positive news is that that bond yields have jumped. So I took that out of as the only...
Well, if you're a Geelong supporter, it's pretty positive news too, Carl.
I don't want to talk about Geelong. G'day, it's Ali.
And Carl.
Thanks for watching the Today YouTube channel.
Subscribe now for brand new videos every day and exclusive bonus clips.
Ali, say please.
Please? Why?
Please? I don't know.